What is going on, everybody? How we doing today? You should be able to hear me. You should be able to hear me. Yeah, you can hear me just fine. Pretty sure you can. What's going on? How we doing today? It is a Friday. All right, it's a Friday, and let's get ahead. Let's get ahead of the piss filter. Let's get ahead of the piss filter right away. It's Friday. All right, Friday stream as usual, and today we're going to be taking a look at some videos that I happened to stumble upon. Right. So on Wednesday, I stumbled upon an old Gracie Jiu-Jitsu video. No, not just Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. Because if you don't know about Jiu-Jitsu politics, there's Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, quote unquote, and then Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Now, when people think of the Gracie family, they think of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but there's a lot of them who are like, no, we do not do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, we do the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. They're like that, and it's a marketing thing. It's a marketing thing, pretty much. But then, in addition to that, the way they try to justify that is by saying that Gracie Jiu-Jitsu is more about trying to protect yourself on the street and stuff like that, and it holds a little bit of weight. I'll be honest with you. It holds a little bit of weight. Right now, the IBJJF World Championships are going on. And don't get me wrong, like, you wouldn't want to fight a lot of those guys. But also, a lot of the time, they're doing stuff that, it's like, why would you want to do that on the street? That would suck to have to try and do to somebody on the street who's trying to punch you and stuff like that. So, it's, it is what it is. But we found an old tape from the 1990s that we looked at, and I'm currently in the process of chopping up that stream to make videos out of. And I figured, you know what, that's something we're going to do every so often, is we're going to take a look at old self-defense tapes and other things like that. In addition to that, David Iacovino asked, are we watching Ip Man? No, we're not watching Ip Man, although Ip Man is a very fun movie. Funny story about that, it was like 2014 or so. I decide, you know what? It's finally time to watch Ip Man. Everybody's telling me I gotta watch Ip Man. All right, let's watch it. I go to FYE, which I'm sure you all know what FYE is. It's a video store back when video stores were a thing, practically. I'm sure they're still around a little bit, but not like they used to be. And I go there and I'm like, I want to find Ip Man. So I find a copy of a movie that is called Ip Man. But the thing is, it was called Ip Man, The Legend Was Born, or A Legend Is Born. I got the wrong Ip Man movie. They have like 20 Ip Man movies. Like, I shit you not, they have like 20 of those fucking things. It's insane how many Ip Man movies they have. They probably have more Ip Man movies than they do Bruce Lee movies. And I don't just mean like Bruce Lee, like Enter the Dragon type movies. I mean straight up like movies about Bruce Lee's life and stuff like that. They really turned Ip Man into a folk hero over there. They really lionized him, which is funny because the man himself, I'm not saying he was like evil or bad or anything like that, but he was an opium addict. You know, he was accused of taking money from his martial arts association, which I would assume that's kind of like a gym or maybe a network of gyms or something like that, and funneling it into his opium addiction, right? He abandoned his wife and daughter. I shit you not. He abandoned his wife and daughter. What happened was they went to Hong Kong after the Reds took over China, and I guess the wife and the daughter had to go back to the mainland for a little while to get some stuff. And when they were back in the mainland, China decided, you know what? No, the border to Hong Kong is closed. We're not allowing people to go to and from Hong Kong anymore. It just doesn't happen like that. And because of that, the wife and the daughter were just stuck there for the rest of their lives. And Ip Man was just like, all right, okay. And he started fucking hoes. I shit you not. He started banging prostitutes in Hong Kong. And his two sons that stayed behind in Hong Kong with them, they were pissed about that. They were like, yo, I'll do the Wing Chun shit because, this is like, what else am I going to do? All right, I'll go and I'll see him during the Wing Chun training, but I don't want to fucking talk to him outside of that. They were like that pissed off about him, And then even then, like, it's funny because China is doing like a revisionism thing with him where they try and not mention the fact that he was pro-nationalist, that he was literally pro-Kuomintang. He ended up in I think it was Nanking or some shit like that. It was whatever the whatever the capital for the uh Chinese nationalists during their civil war was. He ended up there and he was a sheriff. He was like a cop in the capital for the nationalist forces. So there's a reason why he ended up in Hong Kong. And it's not just because he likes the place. It's because he was like, "Oh fuck, I gotta get away from these damn fucking commies," you know. So it's funny. It's funny about that. Um, but yeah, so that's my Ip Man movie story. I have seen the actual Donnie Yen Ip Man movies, and truthfully, the Ip Man movie that I got was not horrible. It was kind of a cozy movie. It became a cozy movie to me because I used to sit in my rooming house, literally one room that's smaller than my bedroom right now. I got kind of a big bedroom, but and I just like I didn't have it. I had internet, but I didn't have cable, and I didn't have a smart TV or a TV that I could play Netflix on or Netflix in general. So I used to just buy DVDs and let them run all day for background noise. So it became kind of like a kind of a comforting thing, right? It was a cozy movie. Watch bedroom, watch B14 1 and 2. When I see B1, I automatically think, "Oh, bedroom 1, bed 1." That's fucking Fish Tank has poisoned me. Fish Tank has poisoned my understanding of letters and numbers. Um but yeah, so that's my Ip Man story, you know. I missed that movie. I wish I could track it down. You know, I'm sure it's somewhere. I could get it on eBay or something like that. But I don't have a fucking VHS or VHS DVD player, so it's like you know. But anywho, anywho, anywho. Uh, one thing, right? I'm gonna start. You know, I obviously want to read the chat. That's half the reason why I do these things. But um, one thing that I want to say is that if you have any ideas for streams you want me to do, definitely let me know because I'm starting to try and ramp up the creativity with the streams again. It was tough to do that during Fish Tank because I was always going to be competing with Fish Tank. So it was kind of difficult for me to be sitting here like, we're going to do a Jeopardy stream on Friday. It's like, well, everyone's watching Fish Tank on Friday. Or if they have a life, they're doing fucking, I don't know, they're going out or something. They're going bowling. They're playing horseshoes. They're playing darts. Um, but yeah, like people, people, I knew people weren't going to be watching my streams a ton, but now that it's time to start putting some effort and energy back into the streams in that way. I'm thinking about maybe like a trivia or a Jeopardy type stream. I also just realized 1 second I have to. Oh wait, is multi-stream working again? Yes, multi-stream is indeed working again. One moment. Boing. All right, there we go. I just need to. Oh, oh, fuck! I'm not signed into the right one, am I? I'm not signed into the right one, am I? No, I am. I am. So what's the fucking deal? Why can't I? Huh? 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 Hold on, I just have to see something real quick because I think YouTube is being weird a little bit. Ah, yes. Okay. All right. Okay. That's what it is. I signed into an oh fuck. I signed into another account by mistake so that I could upload something for my Patreon. $5 a month. $5 a month, damn. And because of that, my YouTube chat was being a little bonkers, but I have got it all set. Nope. All right, there we go. There we go. Anyway, thoughts on Colby versus Buckley? Not really many thoughts. I like Colby Covington. I think he plays the role of the villain very good, and he plays a fun villain. He plays a likable villain. You know, kind of like Chael Sonnen. The only reason you would not like Colby Covington is because you're a fucking idiot and you're letting hate for Donald Trump. You're letting Trump derangement syndrome. You're letting the woke mind virus corrupt you. Yeah, and that's what you're doing. The guy's so cartoonish. It's like, how could you not think that's funny, right? Um, so it's I like Colby Covington. Buckley, he had that one stellar KO. What was it, like 4 or 5 years ago at this point? I wanna say it was somewhere around there. That's pretty cool. I like dudes that even if I don't think they're necessarily gonna be champs one day, they become fan favorites because they have exciting fights. So I think that'll be an interesting fight because Colby likes to wrestle and that can be real fucking boring. But he has become a little bit more comfortable on his feet. And in addition to that, he has that wrestler's pace on his feet. It's just go, 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 go. So I think it could be an exciting fight. I think we might be in for an exciting fight. Or it is going to be a quick knockout or a snooze fest. I don't know which. Which, like, I'm sitting here like it could be anything, basically, is what I'm saying. But I think we're probably in for an exciting fight. If not, it's probably going to be a quick knockout, maybe from Buckley or something like that. But I don't know because Colby's got a decent chin, but Kamaru Usman he's not he was never that good of a striker. Like I could fucking outstrike Kamaru Usman. If we're being honest here, Kamaru Usman was never really that good. The only impressive KO victory he had was against Jorge Masvidal, and the only thing that made that impressive was the fact that fucking Jorge is at least a striker. Usually it would be, oh, we're going up against a striker, so I guess I'm going to fucking wrestle. And then it would be, oh, we're going up against a grappler, so I guess I'm going to strike. That was his whole thing, which there's nothing wrong with that in theory, right? It's the obvious thing to do, but the way he would do it is just so fucking boring. It just made his fight so boring. Kamaru Usman was not a likable champion. He wasn't really a likable guy, if I'm being honest with you. So like when I say Colby's got a chin, it's like, yeah, fucking Kamaru Usman was hitting him, but I think Buckley probably packs a bit more of a punch than Kamaru Usman does. Um, um, but yeah, and then if it's not one of those two things, it'll probably be a snooze fest. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. Who's my favorite fighter? What's going on, everybody who popped in, by the way? What's going on, Elijah Harris? I keep telling myself I gotta compile the questions because some people on Twitter posited some really good questions to ask you for your interview. I've just been so busy with like a million fucking things that I keep forgetting to do that. I'm gonna try and make sure I get on that soon, though. Sorry to keep you waiting about that interview thing, but my favorite fighter, I really don't have one today. If you put a gun to my head, I guess I'd say maybe like Alex Pereira, which is like the normie thing to do. He's kind of like the modern day Conor McGregor, except he's a lot more respectable than Conor is currently. When you mention MMA, people are like, aha, have you heard of Conor McGregor? We didn't come to take part. Nowadays, it's MMA. Oh, dude, have you heard of Alex Pereira? Shama. Yeah. Like that's what people do. But I mean, like, he's earned that reputation from normies for a good reason. He scraps. He's willing to fucking go out there and not wait until it's the perfect time to. He has quick turnarounds, just as quick as someone like fucking what's his face, that guy Israel Adesanya, just as quick as someone like Israel Adesanya has, and he has more exciting fights than Israel does. So it's like he kind of deserves it. He kind of earned it. But my favorites of all time would be like some of the old guys, like Mirko Cro Cop, Fedor. A lot of dudes from Pride. I like Chuck Liddell too. Just those old scrappy dudes. Ensign in a way was arrested again. Oh man, wonder what's going on with him. There's popular fighters, then there's the talent. Yeah. Depending on what you mean by that, I can understand and get what you're saying. I just worked out, so I'm ready to fight for America. My shackles are free, dude. I did too. You guys may have noticed my hair's a little, stands up on its own and shit like that. It's because I skipped karate today because I got something going on later at night that I want to make sure I'm like absolutely going to be there for. And that's why we're streaming so early, by the way. But But since I skipped karate, I was like, fuck, I got to get some kind of workout in. And because of that, I jumped some rope, and then I did a little bit of ab exercises. My abs are coming back. I still have quite a bit of fat on there, but you can literally see abs starting to poke through. Like I had the top layer of abs, and then the middle, right? Like just under those are starting to poke through as well. Of course, when I'm sitting down, the fat bunches up, and because of that, you can't see them at all. But if I stood up and I fucking flexed, which like, yeah, of course, when you flex, your muscles are gonna show. But considering that there's so much fat there, it's like, oh, well, I think that's a good thing. It means I'm losing weight. Um, Buckley just KO'd Wonder Boy and has good cardio at 170. Did he just KO Wonder Boy? Like how recent was that? Because I saw a highlight of that, and I recognized Wonder Boy, but I didn't recognize who he was fighting. I didn't know that was Buckley. Um, get Greg to stop starving himself. He thinks fasting is 100% the way to go. Fasting is definitely the way to go, but I mean, like only in increments, you know. Greg's no fool. He knows how to do things like competently. He's not gonna fast for like 2 weeks. Fucking, you do intermittent fasting where you have a feed time. Like when I was getting ready for fights years ago, it would be because I was working nights at the time. Working nights is the best way to get ready for fights. It makes it so easy because you don't have anything going on during the day, and it helps you to avoid distractions because you have to fucking sleep from like 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. or something like that. Then you get up. And then I would eat a meal like a couple hours after I get up. And when I say a meal, I mean I would basically gorge. I would be trying to get like 1,800 calories in, sometimes even 2,000 or more, depending. Um, and then I would go to train for a few hours, and then I get out, I come home, maybe I have a small snack, maybe, and then I go to work. Like that is the bet. Like I wish I could be back on that schedule. I wish I could be back on that schedule because it was a cozy schedule too, honestly. Um, but like that was just the way that I did things. I wouldn't eat outside of that feed time, and then like I said, if I felt like I wanted or needed it, if I felt like I earned it, maybe a small snack like a candy bar. Like I shit you not, I'd be eating candy bars and shit and stuff like that. Because it's not about like eating clean is a good thing, and you want to eat clean, but at the end of the day, it really is all calories in, calories out. That really is what it is. Um, Specifically when you're trying to lose weight. Fucking there's ways you can fuck around. There's ways you can fuck around, obviously. And kind of play with it so that you can there is a science to losing weight, but outside of that science to losing weight, it's just calories in, calories out. Isn't that called binging? No, binging would be if for no reason at all I eat like 3 to 5,000 calories just cuz. It's different when it's fasting. This is literally a thing that like not to be a science truster or anything like that. Not to trust the science here, but it's literally something that nutritionists have been talking about for years. They've been saying like, yo, like you should fast. And even more than that, what I would do now that I'm remembering is I would wake up, I would have a cup of coffee, black coffee, um and I would go for a walk that would like boost the metabolism and shit like that. So it's like it's not like you're not drinking anything. Like you can drink certain things like a coffee in the morning or water. But yeah, like intermittent fasting has been something that everybody knows about for a long time, and it works. It worked very well for me, and it is working for me right now. I do intermittent fasting followed by 1,000 calories in. Um, 4 days out of the week. The other three, I'm eating like absolute dog shit, if I'm being honest with you. And that's part of the reason why I'm in the shape that I am right now, where I'm like strong fat. But um for one thing, I'm thinking about cutting down to just 2 days where I eat like dog shit. I'll go Monday through Friday, 1,000 calories. Um but like even beyond that, like I said, it's still working for me. It's just not working as fast as it would during a fight camp where I'm doing wind sprints for 25 minutes at a time, 3 times a week, and then after that, I gotta go do a fucking class. Um, the real diet biohack is slowing. I agree. I agree. That's the way. You know. Um, But yeah, so like bottom line, I think Greg's fine. I think Greg knows what he's doing. I don't think he needs wrong one, wrong one. I don't think he needs anyone telling him no, don't do that, because I have a strong feeling that he is all set. He is a-okay. I gotta find my bookmarks. Bookmarks. Yes. I wanted to talk about something, but now that I'm looking at it again, I'm just like, what's even the fucking point of this?
You will partner some.
It's just something I saw that I had a visceral reaction to, but now that it's been a few hours removed since the original time that I saw it, I'm like, yeah, but who even gives a shit, dude? Who fucking cares, dude? Who even fucking cares, dude? Anyway, we might as well talk about it a little bit. We might as well talk about it a little bit, you know?
Here's how we reset for the new year as a self-proclaimed power couple. This time of year, we love to have our big annual partner summit. We talk about our favorite memories from the last year and what we learned, and then set some goals individually and together for the next year. We talk about how we're going to help each other and sum it up with a mission statement. We make a whole date night out of this, and honestly, I look forward to it every year. I've put together a little guide for you guys with all the questions we use, so you can find that in my bio if you want to give it a try with your partner.
Talk about a fucking female-led relationship. There's just, I mean, I think you guys probably feel the same way that I do, but there's just something about this that is just so disgusting to me, you know? And don't get me wrong, like, I don't want my wife to be, like, completely and totally closed off. I like that my wife is, like, kind and, you know, she doesn't make a fool of herself like this, but that's kind of the point that I'm making is, like, if my wife...
Here's how we reset for the new year as a self...
If I had a wife who was like this, I'd get a fucking divorce. You know, I'd go to the church and be like, yo, like I know I'm not supposed to, but could you maybe annul this? She's a soy girl. I married a soy girl. I didn't know. I'm so glad my wife
proclaimed power couple
does not do this type of shit. And a self-proclaimed power couple who's proclaiming that? Her. That's her. And it's like, what do they do that makes them a power couple? Do they both fucking work or something like that? As if everybody doesn't work today? Because apparently that's what a power couple is supposed to be. I got curious about that. Because when I first heard the word power couple, I was like, where have I heard something similar to that? Power bottom. I've heard power bottom before. Is there anything like power bottom? I don't know, man. Maybe they're both power bottoms. Beats me. But, like when I saw this, I was like, when I saw that word, I was like, what is that? So I looked it up, hoping that I would find that it is true about power bottoms. And I found that it's literally just a couple where it's like, it just described modern day couples where it's like both people work is essentially the gist of it. And they tried to tack on some extra shit where it's like, oh, well, they're both high earning. They're both high earners. And I think that's completely and totally irrelevant because it doesn't like what is the amount of money that you're earning have to do with it, and how much money would you have to earn before you hit that? Because my wife and I both work. Do we need to hit $100,000, $200,000, $300,000? What do we have to hit before we're considered a power couple? It's just what this is, right? Is the millennial fixation on the self and feeling like you can be everything at the same time. Meaning, these two are power couples because they both work in fucking, I don't know, IT or something like that. They work in, they work desk jobs. They're paper pushers. They're number junkies, code monkeys, or some shit like that. And they want to sit here and act like, yeah, we're a power couple. We're powerful and we're both getting our shit done. We're both all about our business. But also,
we reset for the new year as a
look at the funny dance. Look at the funny dances.
power couple.
Oh, so funny. Funny dances. We're so funny. We're so quirky. Oh man. And like I hate Reddit and I hate Twitter terminology. I can't stand it, but I have to use some. These two are extremely unserious people to the point where if I had to deal with this guy, I'd probably clown on him accidentally. I would probably accidentally clown on him. He'd probably say some shit and the Boston would come out just like it does sometimes with Fish Tank and some of the people on there where I get a little bit sarcastic and I don't even mean to. I don't even mean to. It just happens. And like that would happen with this guy and especially this girl, because I can tell this chick is probably the type who's going to be like, aha, yeah. I mean, we're voting Kamala, huh? Like she'd find a way to inject some stupid shit, right? I'm so far removed from that, I couldn't even think of a straw man to say, but she'd find a way to inject some stupid shit into conversation any chance she could. And I'd see her tugging her boyfriend around, dancing like that, and I'd just be like, wow, I cannot stand this bitch. This is insane, you know? And it's just funny because millennials were one of the worst generations when it comes to corporatism, because corporations took over everything in our lifetime. I don't remember a time where Walmart wasn't a thing. Some of the earliest memories I have is going to Walmart with my parents, right? I can remember when eBay first hit the scene. It was, I was in elementary school. Amazon, same thing. People talking about how it's going to revolutionize buying stuff, and it did. The iPhone, the fucking iPhone, dude. Apple products. These two have Apple products. Millennials were completely and totally surrounded by corporatism while trying to feign a disdain for that corporatism, when the fact is it made their lives that much more comfortable. They both have their little MacBooks where they can look up their porn or do whatever they do on their MacBooks. They have phones in their pockets where if they're not using MacBooks to look up porn, they're definitely using their phones. They can get DoorDash, they can get all this stuff. They absolutely positively love the fruits of corporatism, but when it comes to having to actually own up to that and be like, yeah, I like my fucking iPhone, they got to sit there and be like, no, actually corporations are bad, dude. Socialism's actually a good thing. Corporations are bad. We need to tax them to high hell is what we need to do. And you know what? We need to raise the minimum wage. It was all for show, is what it always was. It was always for fucking show, 100% of the time. And it's not like I'm some kind of fucking, it's not like I'm some kind of fucking like wise man for noticing this. I'm not the first, and I'm not going to be the last to notice this. But this is just like some of the peak of it, because this is the exact type of shit that you would do if you work in corporate America. This is the exact type of shit, except instead of it being a couple sitting here talking to each other, instead of it being a two-way, it would be a one-way. And I have a feeling that's exactly what this is in practice. On here, it talks about, we have our annual partner summit. Literally corporate fucking jargon, corporate mumbo-jumbo. And then she talks about, we have ways to support each other. We have ways to help each other. And I guarantee you it's this dude sitting down and she's like, here's what you're going to do for me. 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 It's all bleh, 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 just fucking vomiting on him. And he's just like, okay, honey. Okay, yeah, no. Okay, yeah. I agree, yeah. And then when it comes time for him to talk about himself, I guarantee you there's a piece of it that's like, he's too afraid to actually advocate for himself. He's too afraid to look her in the eye and be like, yo, I don't like it when you talk to that guy at your job like that. That's a little bit fucking weird. I'd like for you to delete his number, please. I'd like for you to delete his number and tell him, hey, look, I think we've been being a little bit, we can't be having these conversations. But he can't say shit like that, because then she's just gonna vomit on him more and more and more and more. This is a domineering woman, and she's hiding it behind her quirk chungus shit, her LOL XD random. It's still 2009, and we're doing raw heart shit. Fucking, she's hiding it behind that. And this is just another little thing where she's trying to feel like she's totally smart, or she's totally quirky, or like she's got everything numerized, alphabetized. The word that I'm trying to think of is not coming to me. Modernized is not the word that I'm thinking of either. But like fuck. The word is not coming to me. Basically, this is all an ego thing. This is all an ego thing for her. This is an exercise in her ego. And I want to feel bad for this guy. I want to feel bad for this guy, but I mean, judging, judging, there's really nothing to feel bad about. I would guess. Indexed is a good word. Indexed is a good word. Auto-infanticide. It's not exactly the word that I was thinking of, but it's the way, like in Idiocracy, not Idiocracy. Geez, that's the wrong movie. Office Space, right, where the dude comes in, and efficiency is, again, we're getting a little bit closer here, but the guy was like, is this making the company money? He was like, that's our new motto or shit like that. Ask yourself that question. Optimized. I think that's a good word. I think it's still, I feel like doesn't 100% do it justice, but I think optimized is probably a little bit better, right? A little bit closer. Everything is optimized, right? And it grosses me out, man. These are just ugly people, right? They're just fucking ugly people. Not that I'm a looker, right? I'm not really a looker. All right, I get that. And I'm not gonna sit here and be like, haha, I'm like I'm not a pretty boy. When I say ugly, right? I mean something beyond just like looks. Obviously, yeah. They aren't exactly lookers either. All right. However, there's just something about these people that is just like, that behind the eyes there are dark things that go on there, right? Outwardly, they might be chipper, they might be quirky and fun, and they have paperwork for their partner summit. Teehee, we're making a date night out of it. They might be like that, but behind the eyes, there's probably bad shit going on. And that's the feel that I get from these people. More so her. This guy, his bad shit is probably slave morality bad shit, right? Morality of the weak bad shit, where it's like he probably thinks bad things, but he knows that he doesn't have the capacity for it. So because of that, overall, he just tries to outwardly project benevolence, and he tries to not do bad things to people, but it's still inside of him. This chick right here, it's like, again, forcing people to sit through this. It's like, holy fucking shit, dude. Holy moly. I feel like there was something else that I wanted to look at on the Twatter as well, but I forget. Efficiency isn't a bad word, Evil Fandango. I don't know if I acknowledge that, but yeah, efficiency is not a bad word. I had a friend who tried forcing her BF into signing a relationship contract. LOL. Basically, this exact vibe. Yeah, and it's extremely demeaning as well. I can remember feeling that way when I would be in school and they would try and have me sign a contract that says I'm gonna do my homework and I'm gonna sit still in class, right? It was extremely demeaning because, for one thing, I knew that, like, I didn't have a concept of like legally binding versus not legally binding, but I knew that, like, it didn't have teeth, because it's like what are you gonna fucking do? What are you gonna do to me that necessitates me to sign a contract? What do you think I need to consent to here? You're gonna give me homework. I'm not gonna do it if I don't want to do it. And then what? You're going to punish me? You didn't need a contract to do that. That's just what you were going to do. But you're trying to play these weird little head games with me because you think I'm stupid enough as to where 100 days into the year, I'm going to be like, I don't want to do my fucking homework, dude. And then I'm going to be like, oh, but I signed a contract. Oh, no. Oh, dude, but I signed I gotta, dude. Oh, man. It's extremely demeaning. And the type of people who do that type of thing are people who they feel that they are inherently above you. They force you into those situations because they feel that they are above you, and they feel that they are smarter than you, smart enough as to where they can trick you into thinking that you're doing something that is like legally binding or something like that, It was just the most foolish fucking shit, dude. It was the most foolish shit, My favorite thing was when I'd not do my homework and they'd give me fucking detention or something like that. We called it sessions, but they'd give me detention or something like that, and they'd be like, "You signed a contract at the beginning of the year," and it's like, "Yeah, and fucking, I'll wipe my ass with that thing right now. Give it to me." Oh, I signed a contract? Well, I didn't sign my fucking homework. I left that shit blank, completely and totally. What are we gonna do now? Oh, you're giving me detention? I'll either be there or I won't be there. One of the two. I don't know. But that, like, just remove the fucking condescension is really what it is. Remove the condescension. Just tell me, yo, if you don't do your homework, you're gonna get detention. All right, fine. It's all good. Don't fucking condescend to me. Here's a contract. You gotta sign it. It's like, shut up, you know. And that's exactly the situation I'd be in if I had a girl who was like, so here's a contract. You need to sign this. And then whenever you slightly annoy me, I'm gonna shove this thing in your face and say, you signed a contract. It's like, fucking A, dude. That bitch should be alone forever. I don't wish bad things on people typically, but that bitch with her dumbass contract, that's not something you learn from. That's not something you get better from. You don't have a moment like 2 years down the road where you're thinking about the relationship and you go, "Oh, that was stupid of me. Maybe I shouldn't have done that." That's something that there is something inside of her that is so deeply rooted, and it is so dark and so stupid. Not only is it dark and just like narcissistic and potentially even evil, it's fucking stupid too. It's not even like it's smart. It's dumb as fuck. And that will never be exercised in the way that she needs it to be. So someone like that should just be alone for the rest of her life is really what needs to happen. You know, not everybody deserves a happy ending. Not everybody gets a happy ending. In fact, none of us get a happy ending. When does anybody in life get to ride off into the sunset? We all die, right? And it's not a pretty thing either. A friend of mine, a good friend of mine, we were talking about death, right? And this is a dude. He's I won't say too much about him. He was in the military, but even outside of that, there was a thing that happened to him once, where somebody died in front of him, right? And he said, like, yeah, when people think of death, they think it's like some big moment, and it's like, no, like the person just slips away, and everybody's just there, and like nothing stops for even a half a second, right? Nothing stands still. It's literally just they're here, they're gone, we're still here. Want to get some pizza? That's the way that it is, you know. So like when I say that I don't wish bad things on people, that's kind of the reason why, right? Is because I hearing stuff like that, I'm not saying I know what he went through, but I can understand why he feels the way he does. Plus, it's not a good thing to do for your soul, but um, not everybody gets a happy ending insofar as they get to marry the love of their life, and they get to have 2.5 kids, and they get to have a white picket fence and shit like that. And no, it's not just because the economy is bad or something like that. It's because they are bad, because they are shitty, and they have never tried to turn their life around. Or when they do, they're 40, they're 43, and they just are who they are. And even if they exercise those demons, it's like, well, you're 43 years old, man. Good luck finding a single 40-something-year-old that's not fucked up. Sorry. Sorry, kid. Sorry. Fucking sorry, kid. One sec though. One sec. I gotta mute the microphone because I got some voice messages. I'm gonna mute this and actually, you know what? Fuck yeah. I'll use the BRB screen because it's gonna be less than a minute. I just want to make sure of something real quick. All right, we're all good. We're all good. Anyway, for the person dying, they get a DMT dump, but yeah, they just stop moving. Yeah, yeah, it's I don't look up gore or anything like that, but every now and again it ends up on your timeline, or like, somebody sends you some weird shit or something like that. Um and like when it's funny because as you get older, right? Because I can remember people showing me like certain gore videos. I won't say which ones, from when I was a kid, right? So some of the more well-known ones from that time. um people showing me those fucking videos, and I just remember watching it, and like I might get a little upset, but other than that it was just like, all right, whatever, you know and when I say upset, I mean like angry, not like sad, not like anything like that. um I feel like I probably had a dulled sense of empathy back then, and I think empathy is something you have to grow into, and I think that's why children are so cruel to each other, is because you really do have to learn to have empathy. I think you're born maybe with a certain base amount of it. Some people have a little bit more, a little bit less than others to start out with. Um, and that's why like sociopaths and psychopaths and shit like that, they are what they are. But um, as I've gotten older, specifically over the last 3 to 5 years, the way gore affects me when I do see something that is fucked up is a lot worse. The visceral reaction that I have to it is a lot worse than it used to be. And again, it's not like back then I was like, yay, like who am I? Fucking plagued moth, fuck that guy. But back then it would, like I said, it would be like, yo, what the fuck? That's fucked up. I want to kill the guy that's killing that guy, is the way that I would feel. Now I feel that way. Now I feel that way, obviously, but there's something else that's there too. There's something else that's there too that's hard to explain. And I would assume it's probably bad feelings where I'm like, poor guy. I'm like, oh, poor guy. I feel the same thing. I'll be driving by roadkill on the road. It'll be like a dead raccoon, or I saw a deer on the highway one time. I almost ran over the fucking corpse. It was on an on ramp. Well, actually an off ramp. I was going up an off ramp, and fucking, it was just like in the middle of the road, and I just remember seeing it swerving around it, and I was just like, oh, fucking poor guy. Um, it's really fucked up, man. It's really fucked up. Empathy is tied to IQ on a bell curve. Oh yeah, I'm sure it is too. I'm sure it is. But I also like outside of empathy being tied to IQ, I think that as you get older, you probably gain more of it, if you will, right? You definitely gain more of it. I mean, your brain isn't done. Your brain isn't done forming until you're like 25 or so. I think mine might have stopped forming, or been done forming, or pretty damn near close to done forming when I was like 22 or so. Um, I started kind of getting serious about this life thing, and just the way that I looked at stuff, the way that I handled things, and just other things like that. There was just a sudden shift around the time that I was 22. But um, I think empathy is one of those things that forms. And I mean, like, the difference between a psychopath and a sociopath is a psychopath is born, a sociopath is made. So it's it makes sense that empathy is malleable. It makes sense that empathy would be malleable at that point, you know? Back in the day, you'd have to seek stuff out. Nowadays, you see it so easy. Stop on a video of a car crash for 5 seconds. Here, the next 3 videos are of people dying. Yeah, that's why I try to avoid stopping on that stuff. And if I do, I immediately am like, oh, mute, not interested. Like you have to keep the evil out of your fucking timeline. It's not enough to just be like, oh, I didn't like that, keep scrolling. You have to mute the account that put it in front of you in the first place, and then you also have to select not interested, right? Maybe even report the fucking thing, depending on what it is. Fucking like you, it's evil is always going to try and seep in. Evil is always going to try and find its way in. You cannot reason with it. You cannot allow it to just seep in. You have to protect the timeline. You got to protect the timeline. You got to protect your life. You got to protect yourself, you know? Have you commented on the Daniel Penny situation? No, I don't see a huge need to get into it. What I will say is no face, no case. And yeah, if Daniel Penny was wearing a mask like a good boy should, with this COVID pandemic, chances are he would not have been identified in the way that he was, like legit. And like, I'm not telling you to keep a mask with you at all times or anything like that. I'm just saying that, like, I understand the power fantasy that comes with seeing someone getting harassed on the subway. And I understand the inherent need that we feel as men to want to be protectors. However, there's situations you should get involved in and situations you should not get involved in. And I'm not going to fault Daniel Penny for doing what he thinks is right. However, what I will say is if he did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or if he did any kind of martial art or anything like that that had some form of grappling involved, he probably could have handled it in a little bit of a different way other than actually, you know what, before I say that, right? Before I say that, let's get the fucking facts here. Let's get the fucking facts. Because I remember seeing it years ago. I saw it years ago, but you know what? Yeah. So this right here, he has a rear naked choke in. It's not a good rear naked choke. I guarantee you it's not even actually choking this guy. But the optics of that made it a little bit tough for him to say that he didn't do that. Now, I know that he was found innocent, which was the right thing, because like I said, as a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu expert, I can tell you without even having to see this dude's head, this is not a good choke at all. It's an extremely loose choke. It was slapped on very awkwardly, right? This guy would be fine if he didn't OD on fucking fent, right? Because that's what I heard happened. Overall, though, like, you know, you gotta be careful out there, because it's no longer save the town and everyone hails you as a hero. It's you save the town and now you're on trial for saving the town, and maybe you get off. Potentially, possibly, maybe. If you're lucky, you get off, right? So it's just that, you know. I try to avoid commenting on politics. Even this is like, as soon as you asked me that, I was like, I don't want to talk about this, but you know, fucking whatever. I'll talk about this one. Overall, you know, I think Daniel Penny was doing what he thought was the right thing. But it's tough because I don't want to say he did anything wrong, because the reality is he didn't do anything wrong. Even a court even said he didn't do anything wrong. But there's a saying, you can beat the rap, but you can't beat the ride. And that's kind of what I'm thinking about right now. You can beat the rap, you can beat the case, but you can't beat the process of beating the case, which is your name gets dragged through the mud, you get perp walked in front of CNN, they're all calling you a racist white devil, you know? They're saying, man, these white people they don't season their chicken because they racist. These racist white people, they hate us. They always being racist and shit. These fucking white bitches. They being fucking racist white pussies. You know, irony completely lost on them. You know, like you can beat the rap, you can't beat the ride. Is really what I'm trying to say, you know? And It is what it is. It is what it is. And look, like I haven't read the fucking thing in a little while. I haven't read the thing in a little while, right? The chat. I'm sure there's somebody in there saying, "No, it was the right thing to do, and that's what you're supposed to do. It's what you're supposed to do. He did the right thing." Again, I'm not saying he did the wrong thing, but also it's real easy to say shit like that. It's real easy to get all up in arms in the comment section of a YouTube channel. What are you going to do on an actual subway is the question. Me, I have the ability to do something. I have the ability to do something to stop a guy like this if it comes down to it. But I'm not itching to do that. Just because somebody's being annoying on a subway, it doesn't mean I'm going to be like, "Oh, you know what? Just because some guy's talking about," even if they're talking about killing people, it's like, okay, he mentioned he was going to kill somebody. What did he do? Like, what's he going to do now? Like, part of the reason I'm having such a hard time kind of making this clear and concise as well, part of the reason I'm having a hard time with it is because every situation is extremely, extremely different. Every time someone says they're going to kill somebody, they could mean it, they could not mean it. Every time somebody says they're going to kill somebody, they could just walk away and you never see them again, or they could actually attempt to try and fucking kill you, or they could do anything in between. There could be a million different fucking things that happen, all in between. Okay? And because of this, it's hard for me to sit here and comment and be like, he did the right thing, he did the wrong thing, he did this, he did that, he did this, he did that. I think he's a bad guy, I think he's a good guy. Like I said, overall, I think he did the right thing, but the efficacy of what he did, meaning like, was it a smart move? No. Sticking up for other people is not a smart move. Is it an honorable move? Yes. It's not a smart move though, right? It's definitely not a smart move. I don't necessarily blame people for not wanting to get involved in other people's situations, even if what I see on my computer screen is angering me. It's like, yeah, well, I can understand why they wouldn't want to get involved in that. But overall, like, he did the right thing. I'm sure he had good things in his heart. I'm sure he had a good mindset going into that, where he was just like, well, I don't want to hurt anyone. I just don't want anyone to get hurt. But it's tough to say whether what he did was a smart move or not. And I mean, considering that he had to go through that ride, like I said, probably wasn't a smart move. That just is the way it is, It's like me, right? I think about this every now and again. There was a time where I'm driving. Now, me, I don't get into road rage incidents. But I'm driving and it's on a highway, not like a highway, but one of those state highway things where it's just a glorified big ass road. And there's this dude. He's taking a right turn out of a gas station. Now, I'm driving at a rate where I can't slow down, and this guy thinks he's just going to inch out and I'm going to slam on the brakes and I'm going to let him go. No, that didn't happen. I end up blowing right by him because it's like, what else am I going to do, right? I think I might have swerved into the left lane because there was two lanes and I happened to be in the right one. I swerved into the left lane a little bit, right? But other than that, like, I wasn't going to stop for this guy because, like, he was being kind of a fucking asshole. He ends up taking the turn. He tries to catch up to me, and he's driving next to me. By this time, I ended up in the left lane, right? Because I was getting ready to take a left turn at a certain point. We're driving side by side, and he's fucking yelling out his window at me. And me, like, I typically don't talk shit, but this was a time where I was like, go fuck yourself, pussy. I started talking to him. And he ended up reaching into his glove box, right? Or making it look like he was reaching into his glove box. Now, on the road, that's usually a sign that somebody's got a gun. I had two choices. Either one, I could have tried to speed up, or two, I could have smashed into him. And me, I waited until he ended up pulling his hand up to reveal that all he had in his fucking hand was a stick. Now, did I make the right choice in that situation? I mean, all he had was a stick. It's kind of hard to argue with the results. I didn't get a gun pulled on me. And I had a decision to make if the gun did get pulled on me, right? I would have probably smashed into his car, because shooting someone who is moving while you're also moving And then on top of that, they're also gonna do that into your truck. He was driving a truck, a small pickup truck. That is like, that's an extremely hard thing to do. And I didn't trust my car to be able to speed up in the way that I need to. I have my car, I'll floor it. I'll back out of a parking spot and I'll floor it. Pedal to the fucking metal. And I'll be able to count to 3 before the car starts fucking going. Like, that's how shitty the engine that I have in my car is. I would assume it's the engine. If not, it's some other aspect of it. But and it's always been like that too. That's not a new thing. It's been like that since I've had it, and I got it from my dad, who sold it to me after he bought the thing new, right? So it's is what it is what it is. But the reason I'm telling you this is because every situation is different. Okay, every situation is different, and excuse me. Every situation is different, and sitting here saying whether or not someone made the right choice or the wrong choice it's tough. It's tough, you know. I guess I'll just leave it at that. You know, Daniel Penny, did he do the right thing insofar as morality and honor? Yes, but did he do the smart thing? No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. That's my summation of it, right? Yeah, but now he's invited to events with Trump, and maybe he can leverage it into some kind of career. Yeah, maybe. But I mean, there's no guarantee that he was going to get invited to events by Trump. Look, Trump, and like, as much as we all want to love Trump, if Daniel Penny was convicted, you wouldn't hear fucking shit from Trump. If you heard anything, it would be Daniel Penny is innocent. All right, moving on. That's what you would hear. That's literally what you would hear out of Trump. Derek Chauvin is still in prison, as he should be, because he's an evil white male. But like, it's opportunistic. It didn't have to go down like that, and the risk, right? It makes the reward almost not worth it. It's really what it comes down to, you know. Just don't touch black guys in case they die on Fent, then you get the blame. Oh, man, that'd be awful. Auto and fan aside, if we're talking about smart, he was riding public transit in New York. Yeah, that pretty much says it all. But anyway, it's about time. It's about time we get to what the actual title of this is, right? This right here, Sean Obasi Wing Chun versus wrestler. Now, this is this is from over a decade ago. I think probably like 2011, 2012, before I even really in earnest got into MMA. Now, this guy right here, the guy that you're going to see in this video, it's interesting because he's a Wing Chun guy, and he tried to bring Wing Chun to the world of MMA. He's from New York, okay? I would assume he's from New York, and he fought in Vermont in some fucking organization they had out there 10 years ago. And I watched one of his fights. We're going to watch that fight after we watch this one, but I noticed something in his first fight that I want to talk about, right? So this fight right here, let's go ahead. All right, so apparently this is Wing Chun versus a wrestler in MMA, amateur MMA. For some reason he's got floaties on and he does not. That is a really weird thing, and that should not have been allowed to happen. So I see some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu there. He threw a couple of weird-ass punches, trying to do the Wing Chun windmill punch. It didn't really work out that well. Again, he's sprawling. Not a very good sprawl, and because of that, he's getting Iranian. So he gets taken down with an Iranian, and he immediately goes into some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He gets slammed. There's a glove that's coming off. You're supposed to tape the gloves down. So right here, we have this dude working from a guard in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right? Throws a small punch, doesn't really do much to the wrestler because he's on bottom. All right, so he swam out, got bopped on the way in. So he tries that Wing Chun style punch and it just doesn't work. He has to sprawl out and he immediately goes to throwing non-Wing Chun style punches, right? And I'll explain what I mean by that. So this is interesting because this Sean Obasi dude, if you see his channel, we'll go ahead and we'll check his channel out in a second, right? His whole shtick is supposed to be that he's bringing Wing Chun to the world of MMA. How much Wing Chun actually worked for him there? None. Literally not a single inch, a single ounce of Wing Chun worked for him there. He used a lot of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and we're going to see that he actually competes at IBJJF competitions, or he did at one point. I don't know what this dude's up to today. It was just funny to me because this is supposed to be his big, actually, Wing Chun works. Wing Chun works. That was supposed to be his big Wing Chun works thing. And, I mean, it didn't work here. It didn't work here. And when I said he throws Wing Chun style punches versus non-Wing Chun style punches, right? Specifically, he used non-Wing Chun style punches to win. At the end of the day, a punch is a punch is a punch, but not all punches are necessarily stylistically the same thing. For instance, in karate, you're never really going to see people throwing overhand rights or left hooks in the way that you tend to see boxers throw, right? Even though in Kyokushin, they throw a lot of punches to the body, those are modeled after a karate-specific punch, right? That's where the basis of their hooks come from. At least in the traditional sense, right? In a traditional sense, if you will. They also have certain other punches that kind of they are like hooks, like ridge hands and stuff like that, right? They go ridge hand, which I would never want to hit someone like this. Even that hurt right there, and I don't want to condition my hand for years and years and years. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous is what that is. But this right here is something. That's not something they're stressing in Wing Chun. They're not stressing full power hook punches in Wing Chun from a ground and pound scenario. That's not something they're doing. If you ask them, they might try and show you something that they're like, oh, well, theoretically, you could do this. Theoretically, you could, maybe do that. They might try for something like that, but overall, this is just, it's not Wing Chun. It's just not Wing Chun, It is what it is. We have some other ones from this dude. All right, we're gonna go ahead and first we'll go ahead. All right, we'll go ahead. All right, I'll show you his intro video. Wing Chun Road. A guard pull is supposed to be Wing Chun. Getting shot in on. It didn't work for you. So you notice all the Wing Chun, the actual Wing Chun that you see is him training and messing around. No actual fighting, right? It's like I'm sure he's a nice guy, but it's like it's just not. So, right? Yeah, this is in 2008. That's how long ago this was. Let's go ahead and see this. 18-second knockout is what he calls this. UCL. This is not what it was. This is not like the last one we saw. So what we really have here, more than anything, right? And it sucks because the fucking ref was in the way for some of the parts. But what we really have here is not Wing Chun stylist shit or anything like that. He's just really pouring on aggression. And that's not specifically a Wing Chun thing. There was no none of that. There was no fucking lop sao or pak sao or whatever they call that, right? None of the like intercepting fists. There was none of that. It was just a big dude bullying a smaller dude. That's literally all that was. The same thing, like literally the same thing happens in everybody's first fight. There's a guy who's just a little bit more aggressive than the other guy, and because of that, he's able to bully the other dude. It's just how everybody's first fight goes. It's how people's first 2 or even 3 fights can sometimes go. So even this is like, okay, at least he used some actual like stand-up punches. Even this is like, yeah, but is it really that good of an example of Wing Chun, or is it just a good example of a guy using his physicality? Because that's what Wing Chun is supposed to be, right? If you ask Wing Chun guys, they'll describe it as though it's like the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu of striking, right? They'll be like, oh, well, you know, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is supposed to be for smaller people to take on bigger people. That's a lie. That's a lie, right? It can help you with that, but Jiu-Jitsu is Jiu-Jitsu. A small guy could get fucked up by a big guy. In fact, it's more likely to happen. But they'll then turn around and be like, Wing Chun was actually created by a woman who she wasn't as strong as the men, so because of that, she had to use science and a very regimented approach, which is why we use the center line theory. Because if a guy throws a big punch this way, ha, pak sao, huh, or whatever the hell it's called, right? Fucking, it's this is the exact opposite of what Wing Chun guys will say Wing Chun is. You know, let's go ahead and watch it again. You see how like that's that's the funniest part about it, is that he sits here, he starts winding up on his punches like this, which is what they tell you not to do. And you could see, even when the other dude was in the way, when the ref was in the way, you could see he was still trying to throw punches, winding up like that. Like after he's done mauling this guy just through sheer physicality, he ends up back to it, right back to it. That's just the funniest fucking thing to me, you know? Classic Wing Chun uppercuts, yes. Classic Wing Chun uppercuts, classic Wing Chun sprawl, classic Wing Chun guard. And that's the thing. Like, I had this same issue when I did my Muay Thai video sort of recently, where I told people to stop doing Muay Thai, right? People tried to tell me, well, actually, there's 5 different archetypes that people will go into when they do Muay Thai. And I know, it's like Muay Femur, which is technician, Muay Mat, which is punching, Muay Cow, which is knee heavy, and then there's a few more. There's like 1 or 2 more that I forget the name of, right? But the issue with that is, if everything is Muay Thai, then nothing is Muay Thai. Because for Muay Thai to be a thing, you have to take a select set of things, of stuff, and you have to put it together. You have to systematize the art, right? And I'm not saying that you have to be rigid, that nothing outside is allowed in. However, when people talk about traditional Muay Thai, it doesn't matter whether you're a Muay Mat, whether you're a Muay Femur, whether you're a whatever. Everybody knows what Muay Thai looks like. Everybody knows how Muay Thai, in a traditional sense, is typically trained and fought. All right? And sitting here and trying to say, oh, but I mean, you know, there's tons of different archetypes. You could just pick a different archetype. No, I can't. I literally cannot. Because all I'm going to be doing is training a more punch-heavy style of Muay Thai. That's it. I'm still going to be doing the 70-30 weight distribution. I'm still going to have a weird pace that I have to do. I'm still going to be playing by a certain rule set. It's not going to benefit me. This style, even if it is a heavier punching style, is still specifically made to benefit 5'7", 135-pound Asian men, and I am a 6 foot tall, 240-pound Irish dude. It's not gonna work for me. It's just not gonna work, right? And it's the same thing with Wing Chun, where, like I said, if you go to these dudes who are big Wing Chun guys, they'll be like, oh, well, actually, Wing Chun has perfect takedown defense, you know? And they'll start showing you some stupid shit. And then you'll be like, yeah, but do you guys sprawl? And they'll be like, yeah, we have a sprawl. Actually, sprawling is a big piece of Wing Chun. They'll talk like that sometimes. And it's like, dude, get out of here. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. You know? It's just bonkers. It's fucking bonkers, dude. I'm just curious what other fucking fights he has, because apparently he has more fights. I wish he would have his fights in a playlist. That'd be nice. I can't talk too much shit though, because I'm bad at that too. All right, we're gonna go Sean Obasi, Wing Chun versus BJJ stylist. It seems like there's a couple of those videos though. Holy shit, Fat Joe is giving this chick the fluoride stare and then some, bro. That is insane.
I'm here with Anthony Rodriguez, and he's fighting tonight. What's your record?
26-0.
26-0.
No, it's not. This is from a time where dudes could lie. Like, up until, like, 2007, 2008, you could lie about shit. And, like, there was no Tapology. There was no box rec. You could just lie about shit, and nobody could pull out their smartphone and be like, oh, Anthony Rodriguez, or whatever the hell Fat Joe's name was. Nah, it says on Tapology, you're actually 0-0. You've never fought before. That wouldn't even happen on Tapology. They'd just be like, not found, you know? You couldn't do that. So you could fucking lie. You could lie about that shit, you know? And even the way he said that, right? Like listen and look at him the way he says that.
Tonight, what's your record?
26-0.
20.
Yeah, you see, the way he said that is like 26-0. Please don't ask it. Like short and sweet, you know, like he's trying his best to make you believe it, and he doesn't want to overtalk, you know. That's a mid-level liar will do that. A bottom tier liar will over-explain. He would have been like, oh, 26-0, because, you know, I had this fight here and that fight there. He would have went through his whole fucking thing, because he's trying to over-explain so that you'll believe him after the information overload. You'll be like, oh, well, he just told me all 26 of his fights, so he must not be bullshitting. A mid-level liar will be like, oh, fucking 26-0, and he'll just shut up. But the way he says it is like, 26-0. It's like that. It's just funny to see that. But anyway, fuck it. We'll let it run.
6-0. And I heard you auditioned for The Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, I did. They kind of cut that off and then went with the light heavyweight crew.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a little too heavy for that.
Right. And you're more comfortable at your weight, right?
Yeah, right now I'm more comfortable at where I'm at right now. I could tread down to maybe about 240, but
yeah,
265 is where
you
I'm
don't
at.
want to lose your power, right?
Exactly.
Okay, I don't care about that. Jeez, dude. Fucking old school Italian guy. Holy fuck. Anyway, specifically what Wing Chun really helped me with was ironically BJJ more than kickboxing. That could be because I prefer grappling though. Wing Chun specifically helped me a lot with grip fighting. So the stage where you battle for grips. Oh yeah, when they do that sticking hands shit, that is good for swimming and trying to hand fight. That that's something you can do as a you know, that's something you can do as a real drill. That's not bad at all. You know, but yeah, like if there was one Chinese martial art that was not already okay that you could make okay, I would say it would probably be Wing Chun, but you'd have to do a lot of things that Wing Chun purists would not want you to do. Like, for instance, right? You don't want your hands down here like this dude had. You want them up here. And in addition to that, I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be hiding behind my what's it called? My shoulder, right? In addition to that, I might not be like this. I might be a little bit more like this, okay? Because at the very least, I can stick a jab out. It's not going to be the most powerful jab, but it can at least get me ready to go bang, bang, right? When I throw that punch, I'm going to come back to here. That's just what I'm going to do, okay? I'm not going to go, huh, 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 huh. I don't want to do that, okay? I'm a little bit too open. I'd rather go bang, bang, all right? And then if I want to keep going, I'll just keep on coming here, right? And then when it comes to defense, either A, I can turn this up, which they tell you not to do, but honestly, it works. So why wouldn't you do it? Sam does it. I started doing it after a while. You'll see me with the Philly shell. I'll be here, and I'll lift this up here to elbow block, right? It works. It works. If somebody's throwing a punch at your head, specifically one where they're like, let's really... let's throw that overhand right to try and knock them out. Come in here, it works. It just does. Or let's say they bat this hand down, which is a real possibility. At the very least, I have this that I can defend with, right? Like, you could make Wing Chun viable to a degree, but it would do things that would piss people off. And because of that, Wing Chun stays in the dust. Anyway, versus BJJ Stylist. I don't care about fucking Mario over here, you know? I don't care about the ring walks either. Fuck that. Jeez Louise. Hold on. Oh, okay. I was curious about the gloves.
Timer ready?
All right, let's go ahead.
You ready? You ready? Go!
Are you ready? Are you ready, kids? Oh. See, that was just a stiff jab. And again, here we are, right? I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. Again, where's the Wing Chun? Oh, grabbing them pants. Not allowed, sir. Jeez. Gotta climb through. Again, where is the Wing Chun right now? What the hell is that? You gave up side control? This dude isn't even good at jiu-jitsu. He's supposed to be a jiu-jitsu stylist. Where's... Like that's one thing I can't stand is when people like somebody that they want to win loses and they're like, oh well, that guy isn't real. Oh, that dude isn't actually good. But this dude, like, that was the dumbest move that I think I've ever seen in a jiu-jitsu match. Like let's go back, right? What was he trying to do here? What was he trying to do here? Was that supposed to be a funk roll? Was that what was going on? Ah, yes, classic Wing Chun ground and pound wild hooks. You got your dick scraping against the back of his head. Yes, a classic Wing Chun winded up straight right. Ooh, nice 12-6 elbow. Those are legal now. This dude says 26-0 just to come in here and do that. It's like, holy fuck, man. What is with him and rolling into side control? Oh, and Yeah, that's it. That's it. Again, still no Wing Chun. He's winning. It's funny because it's not even like he's losing. He's winning. But he's winning via not Wing Chun. Well, go ahead, right? Apparently there's another one. I don't know. Oh, these guys. Oh, okay. These guys are just rolling, right? These guys are just rolling. Is all they're doing. Right, I'm curious how good this dude's jiu-jitsu game is. But again, you see, nice shot. He just didn't really set it up well. Red shirt's got one hook in. He's trying to ride legs right now. So we got a half guard.
Step back to the middle. Step right here, guys. Go right back to the middle. So half guard. Half guard. Control. Ready? No. Control. Neck.
Yeah, I only clicked on this one because it's 2.5 minutes, but I'm already bored of the grappling match. So he tried to explode out of there, it didn't work. Oh, almost had the armbar. That wasn't bad. You see, he's making the same mistake. He's making the same mistake that I beat the kids at my gym for. Just kidding, obviously, but he's not putting. What you have to do is you need to take one of your knees and put it right up the middle, like literally try and divide this dude's ass cheeks with your knee. All right, the knee needs to be underneath this guy's body, and then you need to slide the other knee out. Then, instead of being down here trying to just, you're going to put your hands on his stomach right underneath his ribs, and then you're going to press down with your elbow. That's the way that this is supposed to work. So even this dude's grappling is, like, not especially good. Like, that's, like, what's he trying to do, you know? So he passed the guard, he got side control.
Ready?
Was this like on a whim or something? That was a weird way to finish that Kimura, you know? I don't know if I would have wanted to finish a Kimura that way. So he steps over, right? And then he pulls it up. That's just a weird way to finish the Kimura. But yeah, I mean, everybody's got to start somewhere. I'm not trying to be like, this guy fucking sucks, but like at this point in his life, this is from 16 years ago. This video was posted 16 years ago. At this point in his life, you know, he's probably still white belt level. I would assume. I just want to see. It seemed like there was one more, maybe. One or two more, maybe. I don't know. He's got a few of them. Like, one of them is U.S. Army soldier versus Wing Chun MMA fighter. And it's like, I guarantee you this is like some bullshit. I guarantee you this is some bullshit. We'll click on that because it's only a minute, 2 minutes. Yeah, so there. Oh, fucking versus Wing Chun MMA. Shut the fuck up, man. Shut up. Fucking from 4 years ago, apparently. Oh, in the late 2000s is when it was. Yeah. All right, man. Okay. All right, dude. So people doing sparring, and in this case, it's not even sparring. They're just kind of playing around, basically doing what we call Len Chen, and he's uploading it saying versus. It's like, dude, shit, get out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. Where's that? There was one more that I saw. Ah, okay. This is Sean Obasi versus Bloodstain Lane. Let's just go ahead and fucking you know, we'll go back. This is back when MMA dudes always shaved their fucking heads. Everyone trying to be Vanderlei Silva. What the hell were those punches? Is he throwing kicks with fucking shoes on? So there actually looked like a little bit of Wing Chun. Let's go back. Let's go back, right? I don't know if we should slow it down. I'll try slowing it down a little bit. Just a little bit, right? Playback speed. We'll do 75. I think that's probably the best. Yeah, so there's some actual Wing Chun type punching there. Let's go ahead and see the rest of it, right? So I give him credit for the Wing Chun punching. I don't give him credit for the fucking block, because the way he blocked was the way that a fucking like a child will block a punch if it's coming in and it's that obvious. They just throw their hands up like that. You know, that's not like Wing Chun, like, oh, aha, perfect, I've drilled this 400 times. It's fucking like, oh shit, right? But the Wing Chun punches, right, and he threw some more there. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. All right. For once, we're actually getting some Wing Chun out of this guy, and it didn't go too bad for him. You know, I think what it is, and this has been my theory with Wing Chun, the way that people like to do it. If you save certain aspects of Wing Chun for when somebody is ass out, meaning somebody is running backwards, they are routed. They are like, fuck, I gotta get out of here. You might be able to make it work. Or if they fall over and they're up against a cage like that, you might be able to make it work. It might not be a bad thing. It might work out for you. But what's up? Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we're good. You're good. You might be able to make it work out for you, but outside of that, it's like no, because like just let's take another look at this real quick, right? You see how he's throwing those fucking punches, and it's only when the dude is like trying to get up, he's in transit out of a bad spot. Like that worked for him. Good for him for being able to use that. So he pulls guard. Looked like he pulled guard. Not 100% sure. Bops him on the head with the elbow. I'm wondering if they're going as hard as they can right now. I'm going to be honest with you. Because we haven't seen Mr. Lane over here. We haven't seen him really throw anything too hard. We haven't seen anything too hard from anybody. And it almost looks like, you see now he's trying to work a Kimura from the... You see, again, it's more jiu-jitsu than anything. We saw a little bit of actual Wing Chun here, but other than that, it's been jiu-jitsu. It seems like he's really trying to go hard on this dude right now with those punches. You know, I'll give him that. I'll give him that. Yeah, and Lane looks like he's trying to throw something into it. See, he tried that same sweep that he did before, and it didn't really work for him. And now he's got an omoplata. I didn't even realize it because it was like so close to being slipped out, but that was an omoplata that he was going for. So that was actually pretty good. It's going to be one of those fights that just lay on top of each other. I want to see more Wing Chun. I want to see more Wing Chun. We'll skip ahead, right? So where's more Wing Chun? I think he got bopped there. I just want to see it again because I was looking at the chat. Yeah, he got bopped. So we saw a little bit of Wing Chun, and it's out the window. It's out the window right now. I don't know where Lane got his name from, but I don't think it should be Bloodstain. That's kind of fucked up that he's throwing kicks with fucking shoes on. That's not cool. This is, Alright, maybe we'll see something. If we don't see an exchange soon, specifically one with Wing Chun, we're just gonna click away. He showed a little... Is he wearing a fucking My Chemical Romance shirt? Does he have a My Chemical Romance shirt on right now? It's hard to see because this is filmed on a potato, but... No, I don't think it is. I don't think it... No, that's not one. But anyway. Ah, yes. Wing Chun uppercuts again. This is a... That one's a lost cause. I mean, he showed a little bit of promise. He showed a little bit of promise. Good for him, you know. But other than that, it's just like, fuck it, you know. What's going on, Jehovah? How you been, man? Been getting better at getting more relaxed during boxing, boxing and weaving. That's good, man. That's good to hear. Wing Chun has uppercuts. Yeah, well, I highly doubt they're the type of uppercuts that guy was throwing. You know, is kind of the point that I'm making. It's like I said, the differentiation between Wing Chun style and just like non-Wing Chun style or just MMA ground and pound style punches are gonna be the fact that Wing Chun is typically telling you to keep your shit within that little fucking frame. I highly doubt that ever in Wing Chun are they going to say reach back like that and then throw, or reach back like that and then throw. I highly doubt that's a Wing Chun thing, even if Wing Chun has its own equivalent to uppercuts, you know? Excuse me. That's confidence twerking during a fight. Oh, man. Anyway, it's not accurate to reduce Wing Chun to vertical chain punches. Wing Chun just isn't vertical chain punches. Well, that's one of the main things that Wing Chun is known for. And other than that, it's known for its defensive capabilities, which this guy has absolutely positively never shown them outside of, oh, hey, let's do a little bit of fucking sticking hands. You know, that's the only time we've seen anything that looks like Wing Chun outside of the first, like, minute or so of this last fight. This fight right here is when he's doing a demonstration, you know? Fucking, when someone says I'm a Wing Chun practitioner, I want to see them line up similar to this. I want to see someone throw a punch, they fucking disperse the punch, and then they fucking strike right after. That's what I want to see. All right, I want to see them fucking haha. I have ha. That's the type of shit that I want to see. I want to see them using the center line theory. I want to see them using punches that, punches and other strikes that are more in line with the theory of Wing Chun. And this guy is not doing anything that adheres to the theory of Wing Chun. And that's exactly what I was talking about with the people who got salty about my Muay Thai video. Not trying to say you're salty or anything like that. I'm just saying the people with my Muay Thai video got salty. Where, like, if everything is Wing Chun, then nothing is Wing Chun. If everything is Muay Thai, then nothing is Muay Thai. Fighting is a broad term. Fighting And combat and what falls underneath that umbrella includes things like Wing Chun and Muay Thai. But to try and make the entire umbrella Muay Thai or Wing Chun, unless you're just not interested in it, because a lot of Muay Thai guys, they're not interested in learning how to grapple. So, all right, fine, they can, whatever, we can't grapple, fine. But everything striking related could be done under Muay Thai. We don't do it. We don't bother with it, you know. And in fact, we argue against a lot of the other things that you see out there. But I mean, everything is Muay Thai, and that, like, you may not realize it right now, Big Think, but that's kind of what you're doing right now, is saying like, oh, it's not fair to boil Wing Chun down to the things that are specifically Wing Chun. That's kind of what you're doing by saying that, and I understand the point that you're trying to make is like, okay, just because someone throws like an uppercut, it doesn't mean that's not a Wing Chun thing. Well, yeah, I'm sure Wing Chun involves a bunch of different things. I know Wing Chun has elbows, right? Certain kicks and things like that. But it's not, they're not doing it the way this guy was doing it in the video. Let's just be honest here. You know, and to sit here and try and say that Wing Chun is more than just what Wing Chun is known for, it's like, even if you're right, you are kind of wrong to an extent. Because we all know what we want to see when we see Wing Chun. We want to see fucking, we want to see that type of shit, you know? Fucking, but yeah. Anyway. Judo isn't special. Ireland has sleeve and collar wrestling. Yeah, it's called collar and elbow, and yeah, it's funny. I made a video about I think it was the video where I talked about how martial arts don't actually come from Asia specifically, and I talked about how collar and elbow existed far before judo did, and Kano, you know, Jigoro Kano, the guy who created judo, he scoured books and even the world for techniques that he could use, because he was a lot more he was a lot smaller and weaker than a lot of his contemporaries. So because of that, he had to take a look at a lot of these techniques and stuff like that. And it's funny to me that modern judo looks so much like what collar and elbow wrestling was. I don't think that's a coincidence. A lot of these moves that are in modern judo are moves that have been around for a long ass time. And it wouldn't surprise me if, and I'm not saying that he took it all from collar and elbow, but it wouldn't surprise me if he took a good look at what collar and elbow was, which was the most popular form of wrestling in America, as well as Ireland, and even certain parts of Europe for a long time, including that time. It wouldn't surprise me if he took a look at that and was like, maybe I'll borrow some of these. You know, it wouldn't surprise me one bit. But yeah, like I don't know what point you're making with that. That's the secret. Fighting is just fighting. You see that, but that's what I would say. That's what I would say if I was trying to convince you guys that the best way to fight was to throw punches like that. If I was trying to convince you the best way to fight was to take two fingers and go right up somebody's nose and try and fucking throw them using that, I'd probably say the same thing. I'd probably try and diffuse the responsibility that I have, or the responsibility that this thing plays, by trying to say things like, it's not about the art, it's about the artist. Or, oh, well, I mean, it's all just fighting, so, you know, like, whatever. Nobody made anything up, dude. Nobody made anything up, bro. And it's like, all right, fine. Like, even if that is correct, which I agree, it is correct, that doesn't mean that Wing Chun is not Wing Chun suddenly because it looks bad in this video, and because this guy is almost completely and totally unable to utilize Wing Chun in a real fight. Because other than, like I said, we've watched probably 20 to 30 minutes of this guy fighting, of Sean Obasi fighting, and we have seen Wing Chun in about 30 seconds of that 20 to 30 minutes of him fighting. That's what we've seen, you know. And to say that he's doing Wing Chun when he's sprawling out or when he's pulling guard, things that you're not going to learn from a Wing Chun guy. No, obviously not. And when he's throwing punches the way that boxers tell people to throw punches, where Muay Thai people throw punches, where Muay Thai people throw kicks. He threw a couple of kicks there that were classic Muay Thai kicks. They were classic kicks you would see from something that was not Wing Chun, you know? Like to try and say, well, actually, no, that is Wing Chun. You can't. It's not fair to try and boil it down to not being Wing Chun. Like, no, that's just wrong. It's just wrong. I'm sorry. You know. Fuck him. As a brown belt in karate, sticking to the traditional moves will never come close to looking like a real fight. Exactly. You know, exactly. As a guy who is a yellow belt in karate. I've learned a lot of moves that I would never bother using in a fight. And even if I was to try and modify them to use in a fight, they wouldn't look like the traditional moves, but they would still look enough. They would still look enough like the traditional moves that I could pick them out. You know, like for instance, I do this with Sam. When Sam and I spar and he switches into a lefty stance, he and I clash, right? Because I'm standing as a righty, he's standing as a lefty, and because of that, we hand fight. His closest hand to me is very close to this hand, so he might try and bat my hand down. I try and bat his hand down. I put my hand on his hand to mute it, to smother it, so that when I move forward, he can't use his jab. And then another thing that I'll do is, if he makes the mistake of putting his hand here and he doesn't immediately do something with it, I'll move it out that way. Okay, and what I'm doing is a middle inside block. No, actually that's middle outside, I believe, right? I'm not coming into here and then going there and then throwing, right? But what I'm doing is I'm here, he puts the hand there, outside block, bang, and I throw a cross right up the middle. Usually it is midsection because that's the easiest spot for me to land on him in that case. I've done that multiple times with him during sparring. If you look up when he and I sparred in Fish Tank Season 1, right? You'll actually be able to see this. You'll notice it. I believe I did it there. But that's just one example. That's one example of how that's one example of how you can take some traditional stuff and tweak it and make it into an actual combat effective thing. Now, would I do that in any other situation? Typically, no. If somebody throws a cross at me, I'm not going to middle inside block, even if I'm here. All right, I want to stay to the outside of it because I have a better chance of defending it if I'm to the outside of it. But like, there are situations, is what I'm saying. This was not a situation where this guy took some traditional Wing Chun and then modified it to make it work. This was just straight up adrenaline pumping. I want to win this fight. I'm not doing fucking chain punching. I'm not doing the fucking lop sao. I'm not trying to elbow block like this so that I can fucking come back or do whatever they like to do after the fucking elbow block, you know? I'm not fucking catching with the elbow and then stomp kicking to the knee. I'm not doing any of that, right? I'm going to try and hurt this guy as best I can by winding up and hitting him with a punch. That's what that was. It's just what it was, you know? And like I'm obviously not trying to be an asshole about it or anything, Big Think, but it's like, you know? Bug him. It's just weird. Finland 6 says, is the stream still online? It's telling me I'm offline. Well, he wouldn't be able to see this. But you know, fucking I'll type it anyway. Europe has a long history of martial arts, just doesn't get attention. Yeah, and that's because we didn't consider a lot of these things to be martial arts. You know, sword fighting, boxing, wrestling. We didn't consider them to be martial arts because of a couple of different things. For one thing, the concept of martial arts as we know them now kind of came from Asia because for them, it really is just an art for the most part. You know, it's just flowy movements. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's not actually gonna hurt somebody, right? Whether it was karate, whether it was kung fu or something like that. But then in addition to that, there's also that exotic aspect of Asia where people are like, whoa, dude, they do things so different to us. They think of that as an art over there. Whoa, dude. Dude, we don't think of art like that. Wow, they're so beautiful and cultured. We don't have culture over here. We don't have culture, right? That's kind of one of the aspects of it. There's multiple aspects of it. I would recommend you guys check that out, you know? I'd recommend you guys check that video out. I typed in the actual name of my thing. Of my, you see, oh, martial arts don't, all right, I want to see what happens, right? I want to see what happens. Oh, okay, all right, okay. See, I typed it slightly wrong. But, you know. Jeez, this is from a year ago. It's crazy to think about. I used to thank my patrons, but I got too lazy. But anyway, check out this video right here. Okay, check out this. In fact, you know what? Fuck it. I'll link it. I'll link it in chat. This is a good like. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Anyway, I am going to get out of here, though. It was a short stream today. I don't think I'm going to stream tomorrow. Maybe, maybe not. But I will definitely be streaming Monday. Sunday. Obviously, Sunday, 5 p.m. Oblivion stream, okay? I'm thinking we might get into the Dark Brotherhood. I think it's about time. You know, we're just about done with the Fighters Guild quest line. We'll finish the Fighters Guild quest line, and then we'll start fucking around with the Dark Brotherhood. I also joined before I joined the Mages Guild as well. I joined the Mages Guild, so that's going to be an interesting one. But anyway, I don't mean to just cut it off, but I have something that I want to do right now. That again, that's why I started streaming so early. It's also why I skipped karate. But you know, anyway. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. All right. I appreciate you guys. Okay. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you soon. All right. We didn't get to any of the fucking. I just realized we didn't get to the. We didn't get to the old school videos. We didn't get to the old school videos today, so sorry about that. But you know, we're gonna go ahead. We're going to go ahead. We'll do that next time. We'll do that. Maybe I will stream Monday and we'll do that then, or we'll just wait till Wednesday. Either way. I just want to say thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. All right. Peace out.